the second time I've had to say that at the beginning of a video. I have been really sick. Like, sicker than I've been since I was a kid. It's been real fun. Somebody did say on Facebook, you know, that they hoped it confined itself to just me, and it did. I had bronchitis and an ear infection in each ear because, you know, if you're going to do something, do it 100%, right? So it was like 3 weeks. It was horrible. So I'm back. There's that word, and I know, Kimberly, if you're watching this, I hope you're keeping a tally, okay? I expect a Post-it note next time I see you of all my ums and okays. I want to see a tally of them. You know who I mean. I thought, I've had several questions about focusing on particular portions of my planner in the DIYFish Lifemapping pages. So I thought maybe several small videos, one focusing on the monthly chart, one focusing on the weekly, and one focusing on the daily view. So I'm going to do 3 separate videos. I will spread them out a little bit here, and they'll probably be pretty short because, like, for the monthly view, there's not a whole lot of detail that I put into my monthly view, and for all of them, you know, your mileage is going to vary. You could use it completely differently than I am. That's the beauty of these pages. You can use them in whatever way suits you and works for you. This is just what works for me. So this first one is going to be the monthly view. It's the DIYFish Lifemapping Basics version 2 is what I have now. Now, since I got this, Fish did a little bit of tweaking, and if you go to her Etsy store and all this stuff, you know, I'll link down below, there is a version 2.1 and a version 2B. So if you go to order these, be really careful to read the descriptions of both because there are just tiny little differences in both from what I have here. It's very small, it's negligible, it's just going to be a question of how you want to use them. So if you do go to get these version 2.1 or version 2B, just make sure to read the description, okay? So I will flip the camera around and show you the monthly view and how I use it, all right? Bye, guys. Hey, guys. So here is a look at the monthly view of the DIYFish Lifemapping Basics inserts. As I said before, this is version 2. If you decide you want to go with these, Fish has version 2.1 and version 2B in her shop. Just read the description of each. She's tweaked them a little bit since this was released, and the descriptions will tell you exactly what the differences are between the two so that you know what to pick. And I'm going to ask you in advance to forgive the weird shadows. It's later than usual for me to be recording, and I had to bring some lamps in from the living room and so we can see. So please forgive the weird shadows. I will take a peek at this and make sure that they're not too annoying. So here is how I use my monthly page. I'm going to fold this under. A little better, maybe. Here is February's. I thought seeing a full one would be a good idea. Let me show you an empty one first. Let's go back to, here's April. So when you print it, I print an 8.5 by 11 because I'm in the States and that's what I have. Oh, there's that word again. It prints on one page front and back, just your monthly sheet, and you fold it, and there are cut marks and fold marks very clearly marked, very easy to do. One side, as you fold this out, has... Let's go this way first. Sorry, guys. So there's your cover. It is marked with an April tab, which obviously they run down January, February, March, April, all the way through the year. And then this one up here that I have covered up with this tab is 2014. So as you archive them, they are easy to find. The monthly chart that I have filled in a little bit, but not much, prints out like that. And then on the other side is your monthly view, the first week of that month, and then the first week's chart. And I'm going to do a separate video. The next one will be on the weekly stuff. Right now I'm just focusing on the monthly. So this is all one piece. Fold marks are very easy to find. They're marked fold. And this is what your monthly calendar looks like. Pardon me. Now in one of those, either the 2.1 or the 2B, Fish shows you that this calendar runs vertically. Okay, so here's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The beauty of that being that your days, all of your Mondays are together. All of your Tuesdays are together. She does one where, I think I'm understanding this correctly, your first day of the month is on this side, and it still runs vertically, or you can turn it this way and it runs horizontally, kind of like a traditional calendar that we're used to. So check those out in her shop and you'll be able to see the differences between the two. So that is what it looks like fairly empty. I realize I filled that one in a little bit. You know, May's is completely empty except for Jack's birthday. So there is what a fairly empty one looks like. Now for one that's been used, let's find February. Here is what I do. Pardon me. Anything that is going on that is not a daily thing that I have to do goes on my monthly calendar. Things like nights that one of the older boys is working, so he's going to need a ride there and I'm going to have to pick him up. Those I put on the calendar. I keep things in the evening toward the bottom of the boxes. I keep things in the morning toward the top of the boxes. Days that there's no school, I use as many abbreviations as possible because you're working in a small space in order to make it fit here. I do color code just like I do everything, like I've said before, that's just how my brain works. I have seen people use market dots and then use this page kind of as a key. So if I know I'm going to mark all the nights that so-and-so has to work, let's say in blue, I can just put a blue market dot on all of those days, and then if I wanted to, I could put, you know, a market dot, or I could mark in a square over here and put the 10th, the 13th, the 16th, the 24th, so-and-so at work, and make a list over here. I've seen people do that. I just don't use the market dots. So that's all that I put on here. Stuff that is not a daily time-related thing, but that I need to remember. Nights that he has to work, nights that there are parent-teacher conferences. The red triangles I use to indicate hockey games because Mike is at the games when he's home, obviously, and then when he's on the road, it spans a couple of days. So those I mark with a vertical line. Vertical because our week runs vertically. So if there's something you need to indicate here and there and you don't want to take up writing space in the box, you can mark off this last little square pertaining to that day, you know, with some kind of key that you'll remember to indicate those days without taking up too much space. Things that I do every day that are time related go on my daily pages. So like this is a school week, Monday through Friday. I don't have marked on each day, you know, 7:30 I drop off Jack, 8 o'clock I have to leave to drop off Logan, 2 o'clock I pick up Jack, you know, from 3:30 to 4:15 I'm gone picking up Logan, you know, or Hunter or whoever I'm picking up that day, and then so-and-so at work. Those school things I don't mark in here because they're every day during the school week. I do put them on my daily pages, and I know I said we weren't doing daily pages, but I'll just show you really quickly. I do put those on my daily pages in my schedule because those occur every day. I really don't need to see that every day on here. I know Monday through Friday is the school week, so if I'm scheduling something and I need to take a quick peek, I can look here with knowing that that's how it's going to be. I do put those times on my weekly page as well, for the same reason. When I'm going to look, if somebody wants to know if I can do something at a certain time or be somewhere at a certain time, if it's way in advance, I'll just look at the month and stop and think, okay, is that a school day or not? Otherwise, I can go to my week and I can see it because I do have them all listed out on here. Does that make sense? So the monthly page, like I said before, I keep solely for time-related things that I have to be at that are not daily. They're not repeated things. The only thing really on here that's repeated is the hockey games and the night that Dakota has to be at work, which obviously changes. That's why I put it on here. So that is all I put on here. I no longer put bills on here either. I was using a little green dot to mark bills, and I moved those to the monthly chart. So here's how I use my monthly chart. Basically, this is only tasks for me. Now, I will say the schedule-related things that I put on here are hockey games, days that the kids don't have school, and days that any of the boys are away, or like ACT testing, things like that I really need to remember what day it is. I will put it both on this and this, just so that I'm constantly seeing it, because my brain is like a sieve. We've covered this. So otherwise, this is pretty much bills, projects, personal projects, another personal project, and house stuff. Does that make sense? I try as much as I can to keep the monthly chart solely about bills and tasks. And that is pretty much all I put on the monthly chart. But like I said, some of this stuff down here, some of my project stuff, is going to be affected by whatever the hockey schedule looks like, whether the kids are away or whether they're home or they have no school a certain day. So I like keeping that stuff here because as I'm trying to kind of look in advance and see what days I can do this stuff, having the stuff right in front of me is helpful and I don't have to flip back and forth. I have in the past, and I did move it further back in the planner, I have used a portion of this to chart some health stuff. Because you've got all the grid lines, it's very convenient to make a little graph real quick. If you're charting something like, blood sugar or weight, anything like that, it's real nice, quick, easy way to draw a graph. You've got it for the whole month in one place. Every time you look at it, you'll be reminded to keep up with that graph. So if you want a year's worth or 3 months worth of something that you're charting health-wise, you've got it on just a couple of pages as your months pile up. That is pretty much it for the monthly chart, you guys. If you have any questions or comments or anything you see that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, let me know, okay? And we will do the weekly view next. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.